So what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to do a quick comparison of a Montana and then the Montana High Country. Now the Montana High Country we're looking at now, I am going to do a walk around of both RVs. I'm going to show you real quickly here. The Montana is going to be advertised as a 3/4 ton towable fifth wheel. Now if you have been a part of my channel, you obviously know that I'm not a huge fan of 3/4 tons and fifth wheels, especially with diesels, because you run out of payload too quickly. But be sure to look through some of my videos and check out some of my truck reviews. I always show you the numbers for the trucks. I won't get into much of the numbers today, but I really want to show you guys around these fifth wheels and show you the differences of pretty much what you're getting in these. Now this is going to be the High Country, as I mentioned, and just take a look at the overall numbers for this one in terms of the shipping weight, and then just to take a look at the length. Now we're going to take a look now at the Montana 3781 RL. This is a very similar floor plan to the 330 RL, which is the High Country. The only difference is this is going to be slightly longer. It's about just under 4 inches longer than the High Country. Now one thing I will say is, if you are looking at the Montana, which is just a regular Keystone Montana, it is going to have a higher shipping weight, so just keep that in mind. This is going to pretty much require a dually, and as I mentioned, 41 foot versus 37 foot and 4 inches on the High Country. Let's go ahead and get into the video. I want to show you guys around the fifth wheels, and then that way you guys have a better idea of the differences. So what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Look what I have today.
What's up? What's up? Happy Father's Day.
So we're going to take a look at a Montana High Country. Now this is going to be a 330 RL. Now I thought this thing was going to be like 34 foot. This is a 37 foot trailer, man. I did not expect it to be this large, but this is going to be wide body, so you're going to have a little bit more interior space. It does have a drop frame, and it does have the electric jack system. Now it only has 4 jacks. Typically you see Montanas with 6. So just keep in mind that that's going to help with more stability to have 6. But let's go ahead and take a look at the compartments on the outside. I'm going to show you guys around the trailer, and then we'll take a look on the interior. Alright guys, so taking a look under this front compartment, this is where you would put your generator. You can get one from the factory if you order one. Obviously this one does not have it, but as you guys can see, you have the cutout for it, so if you want to add one after the fact, it's kind of prepped to have it. But really large compartment. What do you think, man?
Like it.
You like it? Pretty big?
Pretty big.
Yeah, and then they have this latch. Yeah, and then they have this latch.
Oh yeah, that's
up top too. Up front you do have a 19,000 pound GVWR pin box, and this is going to be a road armor. It does pivot to help with road manners when you're towing it down the road. One thing I do like about the new Montana High Countries is the color scheme. This is going to be a 10th year anniversary for this brand, and they do give you these 2 large awnings on the sides. And as you guys can see with that drop frame, you're never down on storage space on the front. I mean, this is just a huge area. And of course they give you that hard surface on the floor. That way you don't have to, yep, that way you don't have to worry about.
It's like a grip.
Yeah. Yep. And then you have the 130 pound tank on this side, and you have one on the other side too. And I don't know if you guys saw it, but these doors are extremely thick too.
And they heavy.
And they're heavy, yep. I mean, look how thick that is. I mean, and it's very, very robust. They do give you a power outlet on the side here too. Check that out. Of course, they have that more ride step above system. This one's actually pretty wide too. Typically, I've seen them where they're a little bit more narrower, but this one pretty much covers the whole door surface.
Yeah,
so,
that's wide.
yeah, it is. And then you guys can see that drop frame too. They also give you a propane hookup close to your steps also. The Montana High Countries are riding on 16-inch wheels, and these are going to be Rainier tires. And these are going to be 235 80 16s, and they do have a road armor suspension system too. One thing I've noticed on this RV is this is going to be a cable driven slide. Now I have a Keystone Cougar, and it does have a rack and pinion slide on this side. For me, because you have a couch on this side, this seems to be a pretty heavy slide to have for cables, so that's just my opinion. I haven't had any issues on mine, but I've heard from other viewers that they've had issues with their cable driven slides. One thing I noticed on this side, you do have these rollers on this bedroom slide. Now this one does not have those rollers, but the one on the entry side does have it. Let me show you. It has one here, and then it has one on the other side too. I think that helps the slide system be a little bit more reliable, because a few people have mentioned also that whenever they've had issues, they added these rollers to their slide system to help it to go in more smoothly and come out more smoothly. I would just recommend cleaning these off so it doesn't affect the function of them. But taking a look under this slide, they do give you the BAL hydrosphere, and this does make changing the tire really easy too. A must-have on any type of RV, and this is just from experience, you want to have slide toppers. Slide toppers makes life so much easier, especially like if you're breaking down in the wintertime, or if you're breaking down and it's raining, you don't have to worry about that water coming into the slide. Even though you have the rubber seals, it's still going to leak in because water's just going to come in with the slide going in.
That happened to me.
Yep, see, it happened to Mikey too, so he know.
Came in all inside the cabin. I was like, no.
Yep, exactly.
I had to get some towels and try to wipe it up before it gets to the, because everything inside, what? Compressed cardboard.
Exactly. Once it gets wet.
Yeah, once it gets wet, it swells up.
It's gonna buckle.
It's gonna buckle.
Yep. And now that I live my RV full time, the sun hits us from the back. So you see this side on the slide out, this black material, this gets really hot. You can't even touch it with your hands. So manufacturers that are using this isn't good, because if you are going to camp in the summertime, it's going to heat up inside the RV and it's just going to be unbearable to stay in there. So taking a look out back, you do have prep for a backup camera. Now this RV does have all incandescent bulbs, so they are not using LEDs on the outside lighting. And then just below, they do give you a hitch that you can actually tow a trailer with too, and has a 3,000 pound towing capacity, 300 pound tongue weight. Now on this side, you do have your 50 amp connection just below, and all these slides on this RV are going to be cable driven. The good news is they do have your slide awnings on them. And then just below here, this is the area where you're going to dump at, and they do have your valve for the kitchen right here. And this is going to be your hot water heater and your furnace. It looks like someone might have taken the screws off of this thing so you guys can kind of see. This is also going to be a Dometic furnace too. On this side too, if you need to drain your plumbing on the RV to put it in storage, this is the area over here where you can do that. And then this is a storage spot for your sewer hose. And then in this side, they have gas struts, and this is going to be your wet bay area here. And of course you have two areas that you can dump from. And as I mentioned, this is where you're going to drain your hot and cold lines and your inside shower. And like I said, this is your freeze guard winter system, so if you need to winterize it for the season, city water connection, and your black tank flush. And then this is the other side for your storage area. On this side, this is going to be your Lippert component for your auto leveling system, and again, this does have electric jacks too. Mikey P, what do you think?
Love it.
Yeah.
Love the color scheme in here.
Yes. So one thing about Montana, that wide body does give this more interior space. One thing, now that I live in my RV full time, guys, I wish I had a fan, because now I have to have fans on the floor, and I wish that I had whisper quiet AC unit, because my AC units are loud. So, but they give you some storage on each side of this couch. This does seat 3 people comfortably. I have a little bit larger areas on the sides that I can actually store things in, so I like mine a little bit better. So I would actually sacrifice having a bigger couch for more storage, especially if you're full timing. And does this couch turn into a bed? Yep.
It sure does.
It does. Alright guys, Mikey's gonna show you how to take this couch out and make it into a bed. It's actually pretty easy. So you just pull it from the front, yeah. And then you have the 2 metal pieces right here. And then that piece just slides down. All you gotta do is just pop it down, and that's it.
You got a king size bed.
Yeah. Yeah. but the problem is, this does not have a bunk. So if you have your grandkids or anyone else staying with you, this is where they're gonna sleep at, unless they want to sleep in the recliners. And then it goes up pretty much the same way too. So yeah, close the legs. And it pops down.
Can the kids do this? Yes, they can.
Oh yeah, kids can do this actually. It's actually good. Now check this out. This is a small TV, but the good news is they give you a decent size pantry. There are no lights inside of here though, so just keep that in mind. But look at all your counter space inside this RV. It's so much.
Yeah, it is a lot of counter.
A lot of counter space. Residential size microwave, and then here's your 3-burner cooktop with the oven just below, and they have storage too. On this side you are going to have power seats too, and you do have a regular dinette as opposed to a booth. And check out how big these windows are inside of here too. This is a huge selling point for rear living. You get a lot of windows, so if you are boondocking, this does come in handy. And Mikey's going to show you guys how to set up this little leaf here. There you go. Give you a little bit more space. One thing I want you guys to consider is whenever you're coming into your RV, think about where you're going to put your shoes at. I don't really see a place where you're going to put your shoes. What's up?
Really?
What's that?
I thought this was a real towel.
No, this is a Montana high country. If this is a Montana, it would probably have a little bit more solid features. They sacrifice some of the materials to save on weight. Yep. Down here you guys have your vacuum system. Yeah. You have that on yours, don't you? Yeah. And then this is just a regular propane and electric refrigerator too. It's actually pretty large inside.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Good space up in there.
Yep. And your controls are going to be on this side. This is just like ours, except just the front material is a little different. When you walk in, you do have your control system here. And they do give you a place where you can maybe hang a jacket or two. And you probably could put some shoes in here.
Yeah, you use
probably.
Yeah, put your shoes in there.
Yep. And a little bit of storage above your control panel too up there. And then this is going to be for your breakers and your fuses. Now walking up the stairs, they do give you a light here that's sensored. And you're going to have your bathroom on this side. Now I will say, I'm not a fan of these doors here, but
I like pocket doors.
Yeah, me too. Pocket doors way to go. Only problem is you really don't have to store it. They don't have the space to do one, unfortunately.
They have a space.
Well, you probably can give it. You probably can do 2 more feet on this and get it, but this doesn't have the space. But you do have 2 sinks and a pretty large bathroom. Close this door that way you guys can see. But they give you 2 vanities, one here and one on this side, and you have a good amount of storage inside of here too. They also give you storage behind, and it's not deep, but it's enough for what you need. And you have a 1-piece shower. You guys can see this has been winterized. That's all that red stuff on the ground there. But a 1-piece shower is really clean looking too. I like this better than what we have. And you have storage below too. And take a look inside the bedroom. For a wide body, this does seem kind of small, I will be honest, but you do have a lot of floor space to walk in. They do give you an area for a lot of storage, and of course if you want to put a washer and dryer hookup, this is where it would go. And this is going to be a pretty large closet too. It's not that long, but it's enough for what you need for 2 people. And I like that they give you an area where they can vent in AC, because our closet gets really hot, so I like that they gave that to you there. They also give you deep storage under the bed too, and then this is going to be all your connections for your vacuum system that comes with the RV. Our underbed storage is not this big, and it's not usable really, so this is a lot bigger because it has a drop frame. Alright guys, so I'm going to show you around this Montana. Now this is going to be just the Montana, not the high country. As you guys can see, this does have a rack and pinion slide system. You also have 3 jacks. Now this is going to be hydraulic too, so just keep that in mind. Now obviously this is going to have a drop frame still. Now this slide system here is a Schwintek. So if you're not familiar, the Montana is the step above the high country Montana, so just keep that in mind. But You still have huge storage space. I don't even know what this is.
This is the vacuum and cable.
Oh, true. Nice. And you put TV in here.
Yeah.
They have a. Yeah, they have.
Got your vacuum.
Yeah, they have the backing in there also. Yep. Nice. Now, pretty much everything's gonna be the same. I just want you guys to see what I say when you walk into your RV. How do you expect to live inside of it? Right here, they give you this huge closet. So right out of the gate, this is already going to tell you going to be a little bit more step above. Now it's going to sacrifice something. Obviously, this is going to be a little bit longer than the RV that we just looked at. But take a look at the extra length and what it gives you. I mean, the other one felt kind of small, in my opinion.
Yeah, it did.
You know, to you too.
Yeah.
And I mean, look at this island. This is a residential size island. And then look back there. Look at all of that counter space, man. It's just ridiculous.
Wine holder
bottles. I mean, everything is just a little bit nicer. I mean,
it's nicer right here.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, check this out. Just look at how much nicer and how much cleaner everything looks, dude. And I do know with these rollers,
shades.
Yeah, the roller shades. It does give you 2, so you have like a room darkening.
Oh, really? I didn't notice that.
Yeah, sometimes, I mean, I don't know if it's an option, but I do know on some of the Montana they'll give you 2.
Huh.
That way you can.
There it is, right there.
Oh yeah, there you go. So you have room darkening, and then you have just the regular one too. I can't feel it inside of there, but you have 2 shades basically, and that's here it is. Yeah. So it's gonna cost you a little bit more money. It's gonna be a little bit heavier. I mean, I would strongly recommend if you're looking at something like this, dually. Just pick the dually. Residential size refrigerator, and just look at all the hardware. I mean, check out the storage. It is. I mean, that's going to be your fan for inside of here. The only thing I will say, guys, I prefer in command as opposed to the control panel box or the control panel here. That's just me though. I've had no issues with mine, and I feel like it works really well. Of course, it's where you can sweep in your dirt, but this is just a really nice RV, and I would sacrifice having a longer RV to have a little bit more amenities and a little bit more comfort features, because this is a big RV, and it is big in the right ways. Now I do like that they put the bed on this side as opposed to having it on the standard side. Normally the bed is on this wall here, but I feel like you have a lot more space inside. They're going to be the same size in terms of width, but this one just seems like it uses it a lot better. Now, because they put your washer and dryer out there, I mean, check out how much space you have in here. I mean, you have your rack up top, and I mean, it goes a lot wider because you don't have your washer and dryer hook up inside of here. And just really nice, really clean. But that's just the difference between, you know, the Montana and the high country that I could see just real quickly is you just have a little bit more features. And I feel like this is a little bit longer. And I feel like the space that you have inside of here is just a little bit nicer. The features are a little bit nicer. I mean, even something like this, you know, that they have. Now, as far as the cooktop goes, it looks to be the same.
Yeah, they're all the same.
Yeah, some manufacturers are starting to put residential size and style cooktops in ovens, because it looks like this, but it's a little bit bigger. And they could actually probably fit one in here if they wanted to, because look at how much space you have between on this one here. But yeah, this is probably the one I would pick, Montana. I mean, of course, again, you're definitely gonna need a dually, but it'll be worth it in the end, trust me. But hey guys, I hope you liked the video. Like I said, we were just out here. We had no intention of doing a video, but we decided to, and I'm glad we did, because I learned something today. I learned the difference between the high country and the Montana just from walking through both of them. I want to show you a few more differences between the high country and the Montana. Now we're looking at the high country right now. As you guys can see, this does have a 10-inch I-beam frame. Now if you look at the Montana, it does have a 12-inch I-beam frame, so that's going to really be the reason why it's a little bit heavier right out of the gate. Now I did notice on the Montana that does have double insulated laminated rear wall compared to the double insulated rear wall on the Montana High Country. That's just a standard wall that they have here. Now moving on down, I just want to show you guys the kitchen. Now on the regular High Country, you're going to have pretty much your standard countertops, cabinets, things like that. Whereas I will say, if you are looking at the Montana, which is just a regular Montana, there's definitely a difference in the materials and workmanship in this RV. Just some things just to point out: it does have solid countertops. It does have cabinetry that's, you know, probably more like residential style. And of course I didn't notice it when we were there, but it does have a more residential style cooktop too. So these are just a few things. If you have a second, feel free to go through. I mean, this is going to be for the high country, and then look how much more they're offering. I mean, you guys saw the USB outlets that they had that popped up on the countertops versus the high country, which I did not remember seeing those inside of there. Now, taking a look at the towing features, these are some things I want you to take a look at. Now, you do get 7,000 pound axles on your heavier fifth wheels for the high country, but it does come standard on the Montana. As you guys saw in the video, the high country had Rainier tires, which is not a bad tire, but Saloon tires is definitely a tire you would like to have on your fifth wheel, and this is what they're using for the Montanas, and it does come with a 6-year factory warranty also. They both have 16-inch wheels, 8 lugs is pretty standard across the board. Now, as you guys saw, you do get a hydraulic leveling system with the Montana, and if you would like a 6-point leveling system, it is available as an option on the high country, but you're gonna have to pay more for it, where it does come standard on the Montana. And last but not least, the only other selling point for some people is you can get full body paint on the Montana. You cannot get that on the high country. It only comes with just the regular painting schemes. Now, as you guys saw on the Slideouts, I mentioned that it had a black material that got really hot. I did notice on the Montanas that they have laminated walls, so you don't have to worry about those slide walls getting really hot. As you guys know, those slide walls are very thin, and because of that black material, it does heat up. You can feel the heat on the inside of the RV if you touch the walls from the inside. So just keep these things in mind. If you are living in a hotter climate, if you do plan on full timing or living in it full time, those are just some things you want to consider if you are looking at both brands, because I'll be honest with you, the Montana is not that much more expensive than the high country. So I hope this was helpful. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.